Okay, so how's everybody doing? So this particular episode, I just want to call it maybe like shop talk. Just to talk a little bit just about the hobby in general and, about rolling stock and locomotives and, whatever kind of things that might be on my mind concerning the hobby. And I began with digging out these two tank cars that I have, which are brand new actually, but I bought them several years ago. Um, I think I bought them with some of the first cars I purchased. I was away from the hobby for a while, as you may know, and I came back into it and I saw this one here, Athearn Genesis, and I wouldn't normally buy a long car like this since I'm into shelf layouts, but it was such a beautiful model, but it was like over $50. I believe it was like Canadian. It was, yeah, it was 50 plus. And then this one here, I think was 45 or something, or 47. This is an Atlas Masterline, Athearn Genesis. Now I would say that these two cars are equivalent. They're both equally high quality standard, about as good as they get, right? But the one thing that I see happening, I see this type of, well, we all see the price creep, right? Especially in 2021, you're going to see, especially with like Athearn Genesis locomotives, they've jumped up a fair bit. I would say 15-20% the price on their locomotives. They say Athearn Genesis version 2, and all it is rubber MU hoses, some photo etched walkways, LED lighting, which should be standard by now anyway. So I don't think they can lay claim to that as an additional benefit to justify the cost increase. And they mentioned about speakers and sound, but that's the sound version. I'm talking about the DCC ready version, the one that most people like to purchase because they're simply pricey, right? Like Canadian, they're going to be $270. The Athearn Genesis. That's very expensive for a non-sound equipped, no DCC locomotive. But anyway, we all know what's happening with the pricing, so we would expect quality to stay up there, right? Now, with these two locomotives, not locomotives, but cars, this car here, I would say is probably worth $50, just because the detail on this is superb. Like when you see it live, there's not a car like this. They do have some other cars like tank train cars and other versions that are beautiful as well, but this is about as good as it gets, right? And then you have, make sure that doesn't roll off the table. Anyway, this is an Atlas Masterline, which is equally good, like in terms of quality. Superb car. But if you go to buy this car again, which comes in this particular box, Masterline, these are not available anymore. Like this production line, which was would say was fine scale, are no longer available. Like don't be fooled, because they advertise this car in the same box, or another car in the same box, but it's not of this detail. Like the end sills are not the same. They're fat here, the stirrups, some of these details, like on the air compressor and tanks and just airline, like they're just not the same. And that might seem like a minor gripe, but come on, like we're model railroaders, right? We expect, for that kind of money, for $40+ to have the same quality that they were putting out, a few years ago. And I've looked at them, like they're not. Like I don't have one here with me, the very latest one, because I'm not going to buy them, right? Because I know they're not the same. Because I've looked at the photographs. I've found close-up photographs, and I've looked through Photoshop and zoomed in, and they're just not. So they're not being represented honestly, in my opinion. And so these are the minor little things. Like let me just show you quick with some of the hopper cars. Like here's an example of two hopper cars that are by Atlas, which are called Masterline, right? Okay. So this car here that I just purchased not too long ago, these are both Trinity cars, hoppers, almost identical cars. The only difference is this little stirrup here. There is a little bit different. There's a couple of rivets on this one, maybe not on that one, but the stirrups are the same thickness. The grab irons and the ladders are the same. They both have photo etched walkways on top. Obviously, this is a trough hatch. This is a circular hatch. But this car was $42 Canadian. These are still, you can get these for $28. Right? So there's $14 difference right there. And they're both identical, like in terms of quality. And these are not of the same quality as this car, which was billed as an Athearn Genesis. But again, the box doesn't show that. It just says ready to roll. Right? CP Rail Sioux Trinity covered hopper. And I would say that this is a nicer car than this Atlas one because the stirrups are more scale. There's the air hoses. If I can get a better look at that. There's like just the detail on here is beyond this Atlas one. Let me turn that around so where the air tank is. And the brake wheel. See, so this one here, this Athearn, which they said was Genesis, but it doesn't say Genesis on the box though. So again, you got to be careful, right? Like if you're going to buy a ready to run, like this one says ready to roll, ready to run, same thing. But it didn't say on the box Athearn Genesis, and this one says Masterline. But then this car came in a Masterline box, and it's beyond the quality of this one. So do you see where I'm going with that? Like do your research, like spend time, like you have that privilege online. You can research and find photos through Google Images and so on, and really research the car or the manufacturer or retailer that's selling them. Because, you know, you don't know what you're going to get, and you won't always get what you think you're going to get. Now let me just close with this car. This is a car which I wish I bought more of when they were available, but they were limited run by North American Railcar Corporation. So there's special runs by Pacific Western Rail Systems, right? He does fantastic, you know, especially Canadian cars, and he's really involved in the industry. He's connected, right? And he does special runs, limited runs. And I wished I picked up more of these. These are superb cars. It was in the low $40 range. Right? I think you even get a deal if you buy, you know, like a set of them. But anyway, like this car, the detail on this is as good as any other car. The air reservoirs, the lines, the brake wheels, the ladders, the photo etched walkways are superb. Now here's something. These wheel treads are the nicest wheel treads. Like I think they're around 74 thou. I could be wrong, but they're the narrowest wheel treads. Like they're more closer to scale than any other local one if I have. I know someone made a comment about it. They saw it running on my lane. I said, where did you get those wheels? And they came with these cars, with the North American Railcar Corporation by Pacific Western Rail Systems. Anyway, so this is what I mean, right? Like you're not always going to get what you think you're going to get when you buy a car. $28, $44, I think, or maybe more now. I'm not really sure on those, but you know, I believe this car here, which I didn't mind spending 40, I think they were $44. Nice car. But if I wanted to buy these again, they're not of the same detail. They're just not. There's enough evidence there on the newer cars you can see it. And so I'm just wondering about that. And for those of you that have high expectations, and you should, make sure you do your research before you put the money out. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope you have a great day.